Alright, now is a good time to start. Just give me a few moments, folks. If there's anyone watching right now, anyway. Alright, I think we're all good. Is my audio fine for you folks? I recently upgraded my PC, so I've had to sort a lot of things out from the hardware and getting the software onto my new computer, so hopefully everything's working. I did do a quick test before I started. Oh yeah, you want, let me open up the actual overlay. Yay! Hello everyone. Let's get the game up real quick. Yeah, it should be all good. I think I need to tweak the audio a bit in-game, because otherwise it'd just be booming off my, audio. No. Okay, why is the keyboard and... No. Why did it have the... Okay, you know what? First off, let's sort out the audio for this real quick.
Let's go!
That should be good. Alright, okay, good. It is using the PlayStation buttons. I thought for a moment, like, it just started on the mouse and keyboard. But anyways, you know what? Hello everyone, Professor Prinny here. And today, we're gonna start the end of Saga, or more specifically, the end of the Erebonia arc. Goodness knows how this is gonna start, especially with how Cold Steel 3 ended. Whoops. Oh yeah, so without further ado, let's begin. So I'm definitely doing this on Nightmare for sure. Alright, you got all the following bonuses for linking your Trails of Cold Steel 1 data. All Sepith 200, Mass 200, and Attack 2. Okay, that's a pretty decent boost at the start. Action 2 as well. Okay, Falcom really knows which quartz is actually useful. 20U material. Okay, that's really nice as well. And load clear data from Trails of Cold Steel 3. Yeah, it should be the second one, yeah. Only 20 hours more. And that was me trying to blitz through the game too. Based on Rean's level, the following bonus receive life drop, or the stat boosters, okay. Prestigious and Champion Medallion for Instructor at rank S. And they will all, okay, they're not at the beginning. Alright then. Alright, Midwestern outskirts of the Erebonian Empire, the remote town of Ulster. Oh, this is a nice looking place. Quite old though, for sure. Oh, and there's Steinrose. I remember us getting a bottle for Sarah.
After 2 weeks of confusion and panic, a sense of quiet has finally settled over Heimdall. This somber air comes after the funeral of Prince Olivert, a service unattended by his father, Emperor Eugent, who remains in a coma. Furthermore, the Imperial Diet announced after an emergency session yesterday that the National Mobilization Law would be enacted immediately. The unanimously approved measure was put forth in response to a string of terrorist attacks masterminded by the Republic of Calvard. All Imperial subjects are required to offer their full cooperation at the government's request. With the new law in effect, the government has imposed rationing, instated a draft, and started requisitioning supplies for the army.
I don't understand what's happening. No, there's no way Oliver's dead. Especially with him being in what? Pretty much all of the Trails games up to this point, except 0? The plan, Osborn's plan is finally unfolding. Oh yeah, that was the curse thing that wasn't really touched upon much because it basically just spread at the ending. Of Cold Steel 3. And it doesn't seem like everyone's affected either. Western Erebonia, Lemare Province, Ordis, the port city. Okay, I think this is the military taking over Ordis now. Oh hey, it's these two from the Summer Festival in Ordis. out comes Governor Regnitz. Going all the way to the Cayenne House mansion, maybe?
If it isn't Heimdall's very own Imperial Governor, Karl Regnitz. Though he's temporarily left his beloved capital to take office as interim supervisor here in Ordis.
Meaning that the Empire has finally started to move in earnest. A conscription office has just opened here. It's only a matter of time before draft cards start going out. No one can afford to be careless here. We Thor's graduates least of all.
Indeed. What's more, with the inscrutable darkness enshrouding Heimdall, we are unable to confirm the safety of Ferris and the others. And though the Viceland army has mobilized, it would be quite unreasonable to expect them to handle everything by themselves. It seems we will need to find some allies and take action as well.
Yes, including those who embody the spirit of the Horned Lion. Class 7, my dear gardening friend included.
And now Central Erebonia suburbs west of Heimdall leaves. Well, yeah, they don't want to be definite about it because they, the government know that they're talking out of their, you know. Okay, so everyone at the branch campus is effectively vacated somewhere. And Jingo's packed up.
Hey, long time no see. How you been holding up? Yeah, it's been a rough ride for sure. I just got back last night. Me and this one have been packing things up. Yep, sure am. Things are looking pretty bad.
Alright, I think Jingo might be going back to Crossbell then.
Oh, right. I got a message from Rosine for you. Told me to tell you she wouldn't be back for a while and said she was sorry.
Rosine won't be back because she's got, church duties to do. Especially being Thomas's squire and all.
Faster than I expected. Guess Meek's info was spot on. I better scram before she spots me.
Oh, I was expecting Derflinger as well, but yeah, of course it'd be the Arc Royale. I guess the main campus students are taking over the branch campus too. Oh hey, it's Makarov!
So this is the branch campus. But Instructor Makarov, why were we sent here so suddenly?
Who knows? But I guess we're gonna have to take part in this messed up curriculum.
Oh geez, those are some fancy new soldats.
I never thought we'd come back here under these circumstances.
Oh, Michael too.
Wow, this place is pretty nice.
And, okay, never expected Shirley to enroll.
I hear that one professor guy built some kind of training facility here too, yeah? Maybe while Princey Boy is off doing his duty, I'll have myself a little fun.
Heimdall, the imperial capital of Vinecurse. Oh, it's a military parade. And there's 2 of the 10 Goliaths Aragonia has.
Holding
Oh,
such a
no.
huge military parade like this is definitely suspicious, especially considering how they put everything together so quickly.
Because it was planned. It's all according to Keikaku.
I'm worried about Class 7, but I've got my own mission as a soldier of the Empire. If I want to protect this country and Bridget, I shouldn't be hesitating.
Okay, Alan is definitely a character that I can actually believe becoming permanently dead in the coming war.
Vivi disappeared without a trace. Haven't heard a thing about Class 7. Norton's been acting weird too. I should probably get out of Heimdall for a while.
Well, we'll finally get to see Fiona. So, more returning characters, and they're all prettied up too. Oh, it's Van Dyke! Supreme Commander of the Imperial Army, General Van Dyke.
It goes without saying, but a harsh, bitter struggle lies ahead of this nation. we find ourselves faced with a war, the like of which Erebonia has never seen.
Whoops. Oh my goodness.
But we will prove triumphant. We will bring to bear the finest strategies and the full might of the Imperial Army. And with the Rhineford Group's cooperation, we now possess the greatest military force Zemuria has ever seen. I give you my word that this conflict will be over within the year.
Within the year? I don't think it'll take that long.
I come before you all today to announce the War Council's decision. We will punish the Republic of Calvard for their crimes and subjugate them under the might of the Empire.
Unless if they decide to retcon Azure's ending a bit.
The hour will be upon us soon. We will begin the greatest military operation in Erebonian history. Operation Jormungand.
Jormungand, the mythical serpent that swallows the world. It's a fitting name. Way too fitting, if you ask me.
Oh wait, is that Shera? I think that's Shera. Oh, it looks.
This is
the hair looks
Silverstreak.
like. Yeah,
Yona,
that's Shera.
do you read me?
Eastern Erebonia, Crossbell City. Oh no. Oh no, don't forget the SSS. Well, at least we're actually seeing effects of that black wave from Cold Steel 3's ending now. Well, we had a brief glimpse, but yeah. I guess it's more than just aggression, huh? Oh, and Morgs is back. It's the Hazeworths! Although, Mr. Hazeworth's hair looks a bit more... a bit less purpley than I remember. Not too fond of what they did with his face either. I mean, I had a similar problem when I first saw Randy's 3D face in Cold Steel 3. And it looks like Imelda's gained a few pounds last time we saw her, compared to the last time we saw her in Azure. But then again, I'm not sure how much of detail they could have put onto that onto those chibi characters anyway. And that being said, I've never seen her full body art for Azure or Zero either, so I'm not 100% sure on that.
Hey guys! Sorry I'm late!
Okay, so we've got Sully, Cecile...
Hi there. Good to see you again.
We joined up with Sully along the way. It's a long story.
and Grace, yes! Gosh, how could I forget Grace, man?
Well, Ilya's going to be moved from St. Ursula. They're sending her to Armorica for physical therapy.
Wait, what? Why?
Oh, things are getting worse by the minute. What's gonna happen to my home?
Master Shin.
In all likelihood, the Republic will fall to the Empire.
Alright, Sal, what have you got up your sleeves for this conflict?
Sal, how can you...
The World Serpent is slithering ever closer. You should leave this place and go to Remiferia for your own safety. I've already cleared it with the Elder.
No, there's no way I'm leaving Ellie behind. We're Hayaway, aren't we? There must be something we can do.
Pardon me.
Hey there, Mr. White Orchid Dragon. Guess I'm calling a bit late, huh?
That's the guy from the Imperial Army's intelligence division.
Alright, so what's Lecter calling Hey Yue about?
Oh, it's quite all right, Scarecrow. Now, what's this about? The business we discussed before? Or perhaps the other matter?
Nah, the other thing's already being handled. Don't worry about it. I'm calling about our little business arrangement. I want to get everything settled before the Governor General gets back.
Very well. Let's discuss the terms.
So, you still haven't been able to find Tio?
Sorry, nothing yet, I'm afraid. None of my contacts have any clues either. But don't worry, I'm going to extend my search outside Heimdall. Give me some more time and I'm sure I'll turn something up.
Who said I was worried? I'm sure Randolph's with her after all.
Well, just from this shot, Yona is already looking
But
pretty
then
good.
again, the debaucherous prince got himself blown up over there, so I guess anything can happen. No! Sorry. Forget I said that. I mean, don't lose hope?
Thanks. Like I mentioned before, Governor General Rufus is currently in Heimdall. We might not get another chance like this. Help those kids make the most of it.
Well, duh. You don't need to tell me twice. Aww. Man, what a train wreck of a call. I don't know how to deal with stuff like that. Anyway, so she's that idiot prince's girlfriend, huh? Complete opposite of him, but I guess they're a good match. Or they were. It's them!
Yona, we're almost at the destination.
You
Wow,
better be ready to back us up.
Wow, even Yona got a
Who do you
massive
think I am?
look upgrade. Dang.
Shara, take this. If anything should happen to me, you can use it to contact the others.
Oh, that's the artifact that they've been going on about in regards to old Class 7's communications.
Estelle, Joshua, and Ren, it's all up to you now.
Prologue, Nightfall. And after all that, we've only just got to the prologue. Orcus Tower, Governor General's office. Oh, we're in the geofront. Oh my goodness, this is a powerhouse of a group. Alright, so okay, we've got Joshua, Estelle, Ren, Lloyd, Ellie, and Kia.
Oh, we managed to make it this far. Onward and upward.
Yeah! Estelle's also looking really good. Same with Joshua.
But seriously, we really appreciate your guys' help, given everything that's going on right now.
Hey Akira, how are you doing? Yeah, I pretty much just started.
Especially you, Lloyd. You're still on the wanted list, aren't you?
Yeah, but Arios, Risha, and Noel caused enough of a distraction to take some of the heat off my back.
I mean, you could have just thrown Arios out there and he'd be a good enough distraction. He'll just be spamming Gale all day, all night.
We're glad to help. But we're the ones who should be thanking you. It's encouraging to have you here with us.
I still can't believe you brought the little girl with you.
I missed you too, Ren! She's just as overwhelmingly adorable as ever!
Okay, I'm not 100% too sure on Kia's English voice, but that's sure.
Hey, Kia, can I give you a little squeeze? Please? Not if I give you one first! Squeeze! Oh, I'm being crushed by cuteness, obliterated by adorableness!
Man, imagine if Estelle managed to pop into the penguin outfit bonding event that Kia had.
You're shameless, you know that?
Estelle, please control yourself. Don't forget that we're here to gather intel on what happened in Heimdall.
Right. First we couldn't get a hold of Tita, and now it seems like the whole continent is headed for war. And then Olivier and Toval.
Yeah.
We owed Prince Olivert a lot. He was always going out of his way to help us.
Yeah, I'm a bit too used to the Japanese voices for the Crossbell cast, to be fair.
I still can't believe it. We haven't been able to reach Tio, Randy, or Yuna either.
Hey, Ren, you found out something important during those orbital network tests in Liberl, right?
Man, it still sounds a bit weird whenever the Crossbell cast mentions Yuna. Or at least the SSS anyway.
Yes, it was during the wireless connection trials we were running. The project was a collaboration among Liberal's CCF, the Epstein Foundation's Crossbell branch, and Arabonia's Reinford Company. 2 weeks ago, a significant volume of data was uploaded from Heimdall. It's probably heavily encrypted, but I'm sure it holds some clues as to what happened there. I traced the data transfer, and it was sent to the core terminal of this tower.
The thaumaturgical sector. It was created as part of the ritual for the Azure Zero project, right?
Wait. Oh, we're going all the way up to the...
Right. After the annexation, though, the Governor General had it sealed off.
Oh, right. They snuck in through either the C or D route? I'd imagine. And then they're going all the way from the bottom to...
Probably because the only ones who can operate it are the alchemists of the Croix family. But somehow, it seems like someone's using it now.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Maria Bell's there then.
Well, we can figure that out later. Right now, we gotta focus on what we came here for. We need to find out what happened in Heimdall that day, and what they're planning now.
Whatever it is, it must have something to do with what's going on behind the scenes in Arabonia. We can't even start putting together a plan to help until we have a clear picture of what that is.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a long elevator ride.
We're counting on you, Estelle. You as well, Joshua and Ren.
Yeah, we'll be counting on you too.
And I don't think they've got any elevator music either.
We're gonna do our best! Maybe I'll finally get to have some real fun here.
Oh, are we starting with these guys? Ah, heck yeah! This is already my favorite start. Oh great, no, I need to change the camera a bit. Well, actually, before we do all that, let's save so we don't have to slog through the intro again. Let's see. No, I want the minimap fixed. There's the vertical I need. Okay, that's a lot better. Alright, yes! I'm just gonna play around a bit with these guys. Ah, so... Man, I really love how great they look in 3D, like, damn!
Well... Right!
Moving out!
Yeah! There we are!
Alright,
It's
okay.
my turn.
Let's start now.
Primed and ready!
Oh wait, why is it... Why is Turbo a toggle? Oh great, I think that's something I'll have to sort out in the pre-start settings. Actually, I should see what their setups are. Okay, of course Lloyd would have Bridget. Okay, their setups are pretty much what I'd expect.
Whoa.
The man, it's weird seeing the thaumaturgical sector without all the mana.
This is the
around.
result of the Croix family's obsession.
At a glance, it doesn't seem like it's in full operation.
Yeah. When I infiltrated this place 2 years ago, it was glowing with an eerie energy.
That's right. Back then, it was draining mana from all of Crossbell.
It might not be at full power, but it's definitely been turned on. Something's coming. Be careful, everyone!
Golems! Guess we found a couple of the alchemist's little toys.
Ready your Arcus 2s for battle. Let's link up and destroy the targets.
Right. We should try out Brave Orders while we're at it.
Kia, stand back! Okay, I'm still gonna help from the sidelines, though.
Yes, please.
We won't lose!
Alright, combat with, yeah, pretty much, no. Okay, Estelle's Adamantite formation. Damage reduction, CP gain. Shadow formation, delay, CP boost. Okay, Ren's Zord. Like, you could just remove the cast time part and just have the accelerator, it'd already be good. Actually, no, it costs 5, never mind. Oh, and 7 max BP, okay, not bad then. Lloyd's one is basically Yuna's one, but with healing. Oh, Ellie gets Accelerate as well. Oh, and Kia just straight up gives 100 crit. Oh wait, where's my... Oh please, stop with the tutorial pop-ups, I know what I'm doing at this point. Items. Oh my god. Alright, battle scopes, go!
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Alright, we might as well make use of one of them then. Actually, you know what? Before all that... Oh! Golden Sphere got nerfed a bit. You have to target. You can't have it in a specific area anymore. Dang.
Let's go!
Oh, heck yes, I want to see Wheel of Time in 3D! That was a bit underwhelming. Like, not in terms of the animation, but just the voice line, I guess. I was partially hoping Lloyd would have Meteor Breaker. Although at the same time, it's like, how the heck would they? That'd be ridiculous in 3D. With Lloyd spinning around like Sonic the Hedgehog and all. But yeah, Rising Sun is fine too.
It ends here!
Machine Sun!
Yeah!
Alright,
Ready to
and
go.
which S-craft does Joshua have? Oh yeah, Phantom Raid, of course.
I will not falter again.
I will run no more.
Ready? Phantom Raid!
Rest in peace.
Yeah, and I love it. I love the voice crack.
Bring it on!
You can now swap members of the party. Great, because I'd love to see Ren's S-craft too.
Ready to go!
Before all that though. Battle scopes.
Yeah!
Let's go! It's all you!
If you insist. It's time we entertained our guests. Round and round. Up you go!
Yeah, this is new, isn't it?
Let the party begin.
Yeah, this is definitely new.
I do hope you enjoyed yourself.
It's my turn!
Alright, that was great actually.
They're open!
I've got you! Leave it to me!
Alright, now Ellie's one. Oh, it's just Aura Rain. Okay, no need to use it right now then. Although we do want to see its animation though, so...
Now, let us begin! O holy rite of Adios! Come forth from the heavens and shine upon us! Aura Rain!
Alright, that's actually very cool.
Well, thank you.
Ready to go! I've got this! Right! Yeah! Gotcha!
There's no stopping us!
Oh, look at that! They're actually at the levels they're supposed to be! Or you'd
Those
expect
things
them
were
to
pretty
be.
strong for being a bunch of walking rocks.
Well, except, like, Estelle, Joshua, and Ren. Technically, they should be way over level 120, but again, this is Cold Steel, so stat squish, I suppose.
Right. And I'm sure we can expect even stronger foes from this point on.
Man, you two really are something.
I can certainly see why you're both in line for a promotion to A rank.
How the heck are they not A rank yet, actually?
Aw, thanks. Shara and Agate can still run circles around us, though.
And compared to the Divine Blade of Wind, we're practically amateurs.
Enough with the false modesty, you two. We know what you're capable of.
Imagine Steel.
No kidding. And your skills with that scythe are no joke either, Ren.
Yeah, you're super cool!
You're making me blush.
Oh, imagine restarting CS2 at level 140. Oh my goodness. With, oh, Cold Steel 3, yeah.
To be honest, though, I feel like I've gotten pretty rusty since my days as an enforcer.
Right. Used to be with Ouroboros.
And you as well. Isn't that right, Joshua?
Ah, I see. Yeah, I was thinking, like, CS2? Can you really get up that high in CS2? Yeah.
Yeah, back then I was known as Enforcer number 13. the Black Fae.
I was Enforcer number 15, the Angel of Slaughter. It's embarrassing to think I actually used to go by that title, though.
Well, I'm just glad we're on the same side now.
Well, I'm loving the fact that Ren's got a lot of confidence now.
I'll do my best to keep up with all of you.
Glad to have you along with us.
Estelle must have done a very good job playing Big Sis.
You too, Kia. That order you used earlier was straight up amazing.
No prob. I've got your back.
According to the data Yona managed to grab, the central terminal is on the top floor of this area. That's where we'll find the intel we're looking for.
Got it. It's been 2 years since the SSS and Bracer Guild collaborated on a mission. But now, we're back in action.
Oh right! I forgot except Kia and except Kia and Ren. These guys already went together in the Sun Fort. Ah!
We've got quite a climb ahead of us, so let's get moving.
Right!
Although, to be fair, I don't think I ever used Estelle and Joshua in Zero. Because I just wanted the
Ready,
SSS
everyone?
to handle it on their own, basically.
Go, go, go!
Let's begin.
Whoa! This place is just enormous. How high up does the ceiling even go?
If I had to guess, maybe 100 arch?
From what I've seen of the Croix family schematics,
Primed and ready.
that's exactly correct.
This is our chance!
Leave it to me! Yeah! Now's the time! Let's go, everyone! Is everyone okay?
Oh, Kia! Oh, I just noticed Kia coming from the side. Ah, I should have seen that. Ah, I should have play a bit longer.
Give him hell!
It's my turn.
Don't give in!
Thanks!
Alright, I'm just gonna
Let's go!
blitz through the regular fights a bit.
Right!
I see you! Moving out! Gotcha! Yeah!
Leave it to me.
Actually, having the turbo as a toggle isn't too bad.
Yeah! Let's go!
Right!
Oh, Joshua's second craft as the voice line?
I've got this! You're finished! There!
Gotcha!
Won't let you!
Keep it
Thanks! Moving out! Ha! An opening!
Gotcha!
Yes!
Oh gosh, the game's having a hard time loading up the
Right!
characters during high-speed mode.
Cheer up, guys! Cherubic smile!
My turn now!
It's my turn! They're open!
I've got you! Return fire! They're off guard! Let's go, everyone!
I've got this! Ha! There!
Gotcha! Man, you're really on top of your game.
I always am when I'm with you.
Oh, they're so adorable. Man, I wonder what's gonna happen to Reen in terms of romance. Because it doesn't seem like Falcom is willing to commit to main characters having, well, main protagonists having relationships anymore. Alright, do I go up or do I go to the side? Okay, no, it's... Can't go to the sides. Alright. All the way up we go.
Find and ready!
Okay, forced combat. Forced combat indeed.
We won't lose!
Alright, combat links, blah 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 blah. Yes, I've just come hot off Cold Steel 3. You don't need to tell me this. Actually, that would actually be, that would have been a nice thing. Like if you had a Cold Steel save, it should be skipping the tutorials for you. What am I doing? Battle scope.
Yeah. It's my turn.
Wait. Does Lloyd not get stunned anymore? With Burning Heart? Wait, I didn't see this. Actually, what the heck happened to Burning Heart? Oh yeah, I can't forget that, can I? Oh, there was that time difference between the two games. But still, it should have been an option to skip the tutorial. Oh wait, he really doesn't have the stun anymore. Okay, that's busted. This is stupidly busted. Why? I'm not gonna complain. I mean, it just means free buff thing, but yeah, sure. That's a stupidly low cost as well, actually. 40 CP? That's nothing. That's easy to get back. Oh, what? I just realized the stealth doesn't have encourage anymore either. Because I remember using that a lot in Sky, like in Sky FC's early game. It's pretty useful back then. Well, of course we don't have that anymore. Yeah, the character's a lot.
Leave it to me.
Okay, I'm curious if Ellie still does the kick at the end of Mirage Swan.
Here I go! Take this! Ha!
Oh, heck yes, she does!
Now's the time!
There! Moving out!
They also took Reen's motivation away?
Not a chance! Not a chance! Gotcha! I've got this! I will not falter again! Ready? Phantom Ray!
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm not skipping over these S-crafts. Ah, the nostalgia, man! It's off the charts right now.
Right. It's my turn.
Oh, right, that one.
Return fire.
I see you! Right!
Yeah, I guess it would be a bit redundant, to be fair.
Moving out!
Let's go. Too slow. Here's the kicker.
Ah, they've done... Falcom has done such a good job bringing their animations into 3D. That's so beautiful.
Here I go. Take this. Ha! Now's the time.
There! Moving out!
I mean, the writing may have taken a massive dip with the Cold Steel games, but you can't deny that they have really upped their visual game.
There! Let's finish them off!
Okay,
Do it to me! Good work, team.
Yeah, you guys kicked butt out there.
Yeah, see you later, Kira. Have a good one. I'll probably be streaming when you come back. Who knows? Depends how long you're gone for. Man, who knew Queen Alicia would have lasted this long to deal with even more BS? More political BS, but considering how far she's gone, I think she can handle it just fine. I mean, to be fair, this is the perfect chance for someone out there to become the 5th S rank bracer. Oh, I'm sure Cassius will figure something out. Ah, Ren's grown up so well. Yeah, the Bright family is absolutely stacked. Like, that's a family you don't want to mess with ever.
Seems we've hit the perimeter.
Right. Each of these sectors connects back to the central room.
From what our little hacker friend told us, there should be a shortcut around here.
Well, the layout overall seems like the same as it was in Azure. Except, of course, it's without the gamer RGB lights.
It's my turn!
Leave it to me!
Okay, so there's effectively zero reason to never use Braveheart.
They're off guard!
There! I've got this!
My turn now!
Moving out! Let's go! All taken care of. Just what I needed.
Okay, there's a ladder up there. We can't go through that way.
This is our chance!
Let's see now.
It's my turn! It is!
Return fire! Leave it to me! Yeah.
Not a chance!
Return fire! Back off! Right! Get him!
Too slow! Not a chance!
Return fire! They're off guard!
There!
Return fire! Now's the time!
There!
Keep it up! Back off!
I see you!
Yes! Arcus activate!
I can't lose here! There! Let's finish them off!
Right! Yeah, get him!
Too slow!
Yeah!
Alright, I forgot how bugged turbo mode can be in
Need to
regards
get it
to
together.
knocking back enemies.
Let's do this!
Leave it to me! Now's the time!
There! I can't lose here! We won! Now let's move on.
Alright, let's heal up Joshua real quick.
Just what I needed.
Actually, will they say anything? No, okay.
Not the classiest way to get around, but it'll do.
Well, maybe we'll find something ritzier than an emergency access ladder next time.
Alright, Kia, what do you have to say? Okay, nothing much. Just questioning why there's golems. I mean, Maria Bell could just be around. I don't know. Especially if the Croix family are the only ones that should be handling it.
Watch out! That one looks tough!
I hardly doubt Dieter would be let out of jail already.
Not a chance!
Back off!
Oh jeez, what are these guys have? Oh right, they want me to right. Practical. I'll just have to use them then. Well, in that case, we might as well use Roy's one too. On that crit. Yeah! Come forth, Wheel of Time!
It ends here! Rising Sun!
Now, let us begin. O holy rite of Adios, come forth from the heavens and shine upon us. Aura Rain!
Thanks!
Thanks.
I will not falter again! Ready? Phantom Ray! Rest in peace. Ready to go!
Return fire!
I've got
Right!
Oh, whoops, I can't forget the battle scopes.
There! Yes!
Right! I've got this!
Light up! Get him!
Too slow! I see an opening!
Gotcha! Keep it
Thanks! Moving up!
Yes!
Right!
Right! They're down!
Too slow!
Man, you're really on top of it.
Oh man, Sky Third Lecter, Azure Lecter, and now Cold Steel Lecter. Wait, did he really get it right? I thought he ditched. I thought he ditched the Royal Academy. Oh, I might be confusing it with his lack of attendance, yeah. What was I trying to do? Oh right, I wanted to see Ren in action for a bit. You know what, that'll do.
Easy. Leave it to me.
Now then. Activating drive.
My turn now. Yeah!
Okay, Albion Wolf's the same as it was in Cold Steel 3.
Not a chance!
It ends here! All taken care of.
Man, you guys were super cool!
Nice! I did it!
I've done it!
There's more where that came from.
It's only natural.
There we go!
Oh, is that an elevator?
Mm-hmm. It can take us all the way up.
Alright, up we go.
Everyone, remain vigilant.
Oh goodness, I really should have saved someone's S-craft.
Yeah.
Oh well.
How naive!
Return fire!
Not a chance! Not a chance! Back off!
Keep it up! Don't give
Why,
in!
thank you.
Won't let you!
Now then. Think you can handle this? Meet your end!
Okay, we got a few death blows in that.
It's my turn. Here I go! Take this! Ha! Now's the time! Let's go, everyone!
Leave it to me! It's my turn!
My turn now. Activating drive.
Let's go! Too slow! Here's the kicker!
Uh-oh, this isn't looking good.
Keep it up!
Thanks!
Alright, Ellie, heal us up, please.
Now, let us begin.
Why, thank you.
Thanks!
Right! It's my turn!
Very well. Activating drive.
Return fire! Keep it up!
It is!
Now then.
Return fire! Now's the time!
There!
Keep it up!
Thanks!
I really should be making use of the Brave
Let's
Audiences
go.
again. Shouldn't I?
Swiftly! Shadow formation!
Let's go!
Yeah, that'll do for now.
Leave it to me! Stay strong, everyone!
Why, thank you.
Thanks!
Yeah, jeez, this team's got so much CP regeneration. Dang!
Return fire! Now's the time!
There!
Now then. Our chance!
I've got you!
Man, the game really is having a hard time loading up the follow-up attack.
Our
Arcus, activate! My turn now. Arcus, activate!
Leave it to me!
Ouch! Keep it up!
Thanks.
Thanks! Back off!
It's my turn.
It's my turn.
Very well. How naive!
There! And that's how you do it!
Oh, hey, they're finally talking about Reen. Wow, it's actually nice to get outsider's perspective on Reen. Well, that's just how Lloyd is. Alright, I think we can just ignore the golems now. I'm not too worried about everyone's CP, except Ellie's, but meh. I don't think we'd be getting more than 1 or 2 level ups on the climb anyway.
We should count ourselves lucky that this place isn't fully up and running right now.
That's right. It would have taken us at least twice as long if it was.
Oh right, and there's also the parts of the map that would have drained the team's HP and EP. I should probably save here again. Ah, there we go. Right, the thaumaturgical sector's main terminal.
Judging by the light show, I'd say this is it.
Yes, this is where all that data from Heimdall ended up.
Must have been installed recently. It wasn't here 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, so this wouldn't have been Maria Belle's doing then.
Are you ready, Ren?
Unless she's been
But of
sneaking every
course.
now and again.
All set up. I'll need your help for this next part, Kia.
You got it. What should I do?
According to Four Eyes, this terminal uses a system made with the same astral code that Ouroboros uses. It's a 5-dimensional spirit code. A lifetime wouldn't be enough to try all the combinations. But with your help, we should be able to skip ahead 81 steps or so.
Oh, I get it now. You want me to matricize the exterior of space-time, right?
Exactly. Let's get started.
Are these kids even speaking our language? The heck is a 5-dimensional code?
Astral code. Huh. It's the system Ouroboros uses for its communications.
Right. And it seems the Croix family applied it to their ritual.
I still don't understand why that data from Heimdall was sent here of all places.
It's simple, really. It's because I requested it of the Governor General and a certain source.
Oh? Oh my goodness, it's him. And Claire too.
I couldn't even sense them coming.
Are you?
She's from the RMP.
I'm Claire Revelt, Railway Military Police. I recognize the two of you, Lloyd Bannings and Ellie McDowell. You must be Estelle Bright, meaning the one with you is Joshua Bright, correct?
Who? No, you must have us mixed up with some other people.
Oh, wait. Very smooth, Estelle.
If it's all the same, I think we'll avoid confirming our identities for now.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I'm actually quite impressed you were able to pinpoint this terminal's location.
I mean, it wasn't exactly ripped out after the events in Azure.
I suppose the Faceless taught you well.
What did you say?
Wait, I recognize you.
A key figure in Ouroboros' 13 Factories project, you led a team of gnomes in Erebonia. But then you betrayed the society to join forces with the Blood and Iron Chancellor, didn't you? Chief of the Black Workshop?
Precisely. I worked closely with the former Third Anguis of Ouroboros, the Faceless. I even had him test my automated miniature combat shells. He proved very useful in the Hamel project as well. Hard to believe that was 14 years ago.
What are you talking about?
Does that mean you helped the professor start the 100 Days War?
Seems like there's still a lot of buried secrets. I'm guessing the data here is the key to dragging the rest of the skeletons out of your closet.
Yes, actually. If you can break the code, then by all means do whatever you wish with the data. However, before you can do that, you'll need to face the three of us.
Wait, 3? Oh, Milliam. Oh wait, no, Milliam's gone for now. Okay. Wait, then who could it be then?
The three of you?
No way.
Oh, it's probably Azure Siegfried then, actually. Oh, never
Why,
mind.
hello there, everyone. Long time no see.
Oh, yeah, Maria Bell. Well, duh, I mean, we're dealing with a thaumaturgical sector here. Of course she'd be around. I did say to myself that she'd probably be here.
Why? What are you doing here, Belle?
Maria Bell, the wellspring
Oh,
alchemist.
don't be like that. It's been a while since we've seen each other. 2 years or so.
Definitely one of the best Trails bosses in the series, that's for sure.
And it looks like you're up to your neck in trouble. Just like I knew you'd be.
No!
So you finally come back to Crossbell. But what are you doing with these two? Shouldn't you be fighting the Imperial government?
Oh? Did you not get the memo? Ouroboros is now allied with Mr. Blood and Iron, or... perhaps it would be more accurate to say Ouroboros surrendered to him.
The heck? Why?
Say what? Since when does the society just roll over like that?
That's what I was thinking.
If that's the case, then what happened in Heimdall?
Yes, it was a declaration of the alliance between Chancellor Osborne and Ouroboros. The beginning of the Great Twilight.
The Great Twilight?
Okay, I mean, this way, technically, they could have used the Phantasmal... Ouroboros means they could have used the Phantasmal Blaze this way? I don't know.
That's one heck of a creepy name.
Oh, now I get it. So that's what that weird black wave was.
Oh, you could see it even though you lost your powers as a Septarian? My family's little pet project continues to impress.
Kia's not just some project. It's okay, Ellie. It's true that I started out as a project. But that aside, there are some things I'm grateful to Belle for. It's thanks to her that I was able to meet you, Lloyd, and everyone else.
Ah, Kia.
Even in this situation, she's adorable.
I'm glad we met too, Kia. You really have grown up, and in such a short time. In any event, I'm surprised to see the Bright family here too. I'm particularly pleased to meet you, number 15, the Angel of Slaughter.
The pleasure's all mine. I've been wanting to meet the one who took that twisted professor's spot. I can tell at a glance. You're somehow even more rotten than he was.
I don't know. She hasn't really done that much. That could one up the what Weissman has done thus far.
Oh dear me! Coming from you, I'll take that as a compliment.
Forget about her, Red.
Agreed. Right now we need to focus on getting that data.
And if they're here to stop us, we won't hesitate to fight back.
Ren, Kia, don't worry. We'll take care of them.
Oh, is that so? We'll just see about that now, won't we?
What the?
The combat shell. Though it's different from the kind the professor used.
That Black Rabbit girl had one of those things too.
One might refer to this one as the origin of the other models you've seen.
Oh, jeez. That's one heck of a combat
It's
shell.
been quite some time since I last tested Zoa Balor in battle. I'm very curious to see how it performs against the Divine Blade's daughter, 2 former enforcers, and the SSS.
Maria Bell's dolls.
Rosenberg dolls!
You made the old man's dolls into your minions?
Oh, I just couldn't help myself being an alchemist and all. We may both play with dolls, but my tea parties are a little more deadly than yours.
Please, both of you. That's enough playing around. We're wasting time.
Hey, at least someone's serious about the situation.
That emblem.
I am the Icy Maiden, Claire Revelt. On my authority as a member of the Iron Bloods, you're all under arrest for illegally accessing a restricted area.
Here they come!
Be careful, everyone!
Activate combat links! We will overcome this, no matter what!
I trust you'll provide me with some valuable data.
Apprehending fugitives.
Do try and make this entertaining.
Reduce all enemy HP to a certain amount. Okay. Oh, beautiful.
Ready to go!
Oh, and Maria Bell's normal attack is now an AoE. Fun! Which one should we start off with, actually? I want the Accelerate would be nice, actually. Yeah, we'll go with the Accelerate.
Push through! Cross strike!
Ready to go!
Oh, we need to do the battle scope as well.
Yeah!
Level 87.
It's my turn! There!
Yes!
Okay, and actually, let's get these three on with the shining cliff.
My turn now.
And then battle scope on Maria Bell. Oh. Oh, hopefully he's still in range. Yeah, okay, he was still in range. That's good.
Yeah.
Moving out!
Oh, Claire's not having a good day, huh? You know what? Let's see. What? I want to buff him up first before I go into Raging Hammer. All right, let's do that. Let's just get rid of Claire first.
Let's go!
Where is it?
It's my turn!
My turn now. Arcus activate!
Take this!
Gotcha!
Shatter!
Ready to go!
No, got frozen. That's good. You know what? I'll wait until the next time I use Braveheart to go into Raging Hammer.
Yes!
In the meantime, Ixion Volt with Ellie.
Satanic Claw!
How's that?
Oh wow! CP drain. Ooh.
Right!
No, we're gonna focus on Claire.
Now!
I got you! Yeah!
Moving out! Arcus activate!
My turn now. Arcus activate!
Yeah! Thanks.
Help me out now, would you? Out! Shaw! Hey! Now! Off you go!
It's my turn. Here I go! Take this! There!
Okay, now we can use them.
Right!
So, Raging Hammer.
Break them! Raging Hammer! It's my turn! It ends here!
Oh no, I should have impeded Claire first.
Rising Sun!
Oh well.
I'm impressed. However...
Moving out!
Oh, okay. They just flee after their HP thresholds reach. On the other hand, though...
Let's see it!
Oh, I actually fell asleep.
Soa Balor, strike!
Yeah!
Keep it up!
Thanks! Not a chance!
Let's see how this treats you!
My turn now.
Alright, we'll take out Maria Bell next.
They're down!
Too slow! Ready to go!
It's my turn.
Swiftly! Shadow formation!
It's my turn.
Actually, no, Estelle can go hit Black Arbor. Because I think Phantom Blade will be enough for Maria Bell. Oh yeah, that's definitely good enough.
I will not falter again! Ready? Phantom Ray! Rest in peace.
Well, it was close.
Help me out now, would you? Alex, Shaw, Payne, now, off you go!
Oh, that sneaky death blow.
Thanks.
Yes.
Right, Atlas on Joshua, and we'll S-Craft with Rory. Okay, that probably wasn't the best idea actually, because now Albrecht's gonna heal up. Oh well.
It ends here.
Well, then again, I could take. I could use Ellie's S-Craft. Although, let's see if this kills first.
Rising Sun!
Okay, yeah, I don't want Albrecht to heal.
Now, let us begin.
And well, we might as well revive Joshua this way as well.
O holy rite of Adios! Come forth from the heavens and shine upon us! Aura reign!
Thanks!
Thanks!
Let's see how this treats you! I suppose I should have expected as much, Ellie.
My turn now.
Not Not a chance!
Take this!
Right!
Take this!
Keep it up!
Thanks!
Let's go!
Not a chance!
So a Balor, strike!
Return fire! Now's the time!
There!
Alright,
Leave it to
almost
me.
there.
Yeah.
It's my turn! Ready to go! Not a chance!
Oh! Uh-oh.
What will you make of this?
Well, at least we get to see Black Albric's S-Craft.
Behold the advent of your demise.
Oh, is it a line AoE? Oh, it's a line AoE.
Perish! Severian art!
Don't give in!
Thanks!
Okay, I thought that was just gonna kill.
Let's go!
Alright, that wasn't as threatening as I was
Ready to go!
thinking it was gonna be.
Yes! Yeah!
Oh, we could just wail on them then.
Let's go!
Now! I've got you!
Let's go! They're down! Let's do this, Joshua!
Right!
Better than I could have asked for.
Okay! The last matrix is finished!
Nice. I've disabled the data protection.
Access granted. Beginning download of classified data.
Oh my.
I am certainly impressed.
Well, to be fair, I think this is one of the first fights in just the Cold Steel series in general where I've actually, at least through the gameplay, that I've actually got the impression that the antagonists aren't taking the situation as too seriously, but they're still not that. How should I put it? Not holding back too much, I guess. Because Maria Bell is way stronger than this, obviously.
After all we went through, that better not be just a bunch of junk data.
I doubt it. I don't think they had the time to set us up under these circumstances.
But the way they're acting, it's like they don't really care if we get this info.
Yeah, that's exactly the feeling I got.
But why? Why go to such lengths to cover things up and then let us learn the truth? The truth about what happened in Heimdall, both on the surface and behind the scenes.
Simple. Because we already achieved our goals there 2 weeks ago. It doesn't make the slightest difference if you learn the details. There's no way to change the outcome.
Download complete.
We got it!
We've secured an escape route. Let's move!
Ren! Tia! Grab your stuff and start running!
Gotcha!
Yeah. I'm coming!
It was good to see you again, Belle. However, you're the absolute worst. Why, thank you! I wholeheartedly agree.
Wow, it's
Love
like
you,
they're still
Ellie.
best
We'll
friends.
see each other again soon.
That was quite an entertaining encounter. It's not every day you meet so many interesting people. Though it seemed like there was a touch of drama near the end.
I suppose so. It's a bit of a long story. But what's between me and the SSS is none of your concern. Don't worry, it won't stop me from helping with the Great Twilight and the rivalries. Though I'm none too pleased about having to work alongside someone who stole hundreds of years of technology from my family.
I take it you're talking about the homunculus technology? Well, you don't have any grounds to complain there. After all, where did the technology for your cradle come from? On top of that, your use of septium veins for the Wisdom Project seems suspiciously familiar.
Oh, touché!
Perhaps we make a good team after all.
What the heck is Claire doing?
Pardon me. Lecter? Yes, everything is proceeding as planned. Please keep a close eye on the Bracer HQ and the SSS officers' movements.
The Icy Maiden, She certainly piqued my interest. Despite her title, it's clear she can only just barely hold her feelings in. She's walking a thin tightrope.
Well, many events have transpired in such a short
she's
time.
Clearly out of place
Events
amongst
both
these
fateful
groups.
and final that cannot be undone.
Right. You take care too. I haven't checked my private orb mails in a while. This one is from 2 weeks ago.
Sup, Claire? I'm probably about to get crazy busy with work soon, so I figured I should send you this now. It's that picture we took together in Heimdall. I probably should have sent it sooner, but, well, I forgot.
It's from when Reen and Milliam helped me with that undercover operation. Afterward, we went to go get ice cream together and... No.
Dang.
Adios. This is what really happened in Heimdall?
I can't believe this. They sacrificed a girl to make some sword? And then that Schwarzer guy killed a holy beast with it.
And as a result, the Great Twilight began, and the curse of the End spread throughout the Empire.
The third survivor of Hamel? So he was alive after all. How could we not have noticed? We left him behind.
Yeah, how the heck would you two have missed him? Considering you two stayed there for a while, no? You and Lue stayed behind. Yeah. Yeah, they stayed behind until Ouroboros picked them up. Well, at least picked Lue up. No, wait, they picked both of them up. Okay, I'm a bit a little fuzzy on the Sky stuff, to be fair. It has been years since I last played them, after all.
Looking at all this, it's clear this war won't just be between Erebonia and Calvard. Every country on the entire continent will be pulled in and devoured.
A lot of crazy stuff happened in Heimdall, but I still believe Tio and Randy are okay.
Yeah, like, what's the overall end goal that Osborne has? That's the thing.
The same for your friends, Tita and Agate. And all of those Class 7 guys, too.
Thank you, Kia.
Yeah, I know they're just fine.
You took another peek at causality, didn't you?
I don't know how reliable that is, but it makes me feel a little better.
Oh, for someone who's lost their powers as the Septarian of Zero. They sure have
All
a
right,
lot
everyone.
of causality knowledge.
Now that we
with
have
them
this,
still.
we've got a long road ahead of us. Let's get started.
The way things are now, war will be in full swing within 2 months at the latest. If the details about this curse are true, anyway.
Yes, I thought it would take at least half a year after conscription started. But if supernatural forces are at work, it may happen much more swiftly.
We're gonna go report this info to Guild HQ and the Burrow's royal family. How about you guys?
We'll share the intel with Calvert and Remiferia. Fortunately, some of our allies happen to be there right now.
You mean the Divine Blade of Wind and Yin? We've got our own allies to get in touch with. It's going to be a pain tracking them down.
Maybe, but we're gonna find them no matter what. If each of us helps the others out, if we're all a guiding light for each other, we'll be dozens, no, hundreds of times stronger.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Be each other's guiding light, huh? I like the sound of that.
Sounds pretty sappy to me, but I guess I get the idea.
That's the right idea for sure, Kia. And I'm proud of you, Ren. If you get it, then that means you've really matured.
Ugh, cut it out, Estelle. I'm not a kid anymore.
Oh, but you sure like it, don't you?
You'll always be our little sister.
Aw, how sweet.
We can definitely do this.
Ah, heck yes.
We have to protect what matters to each of us. There's no way we're letting this world come to an
Yes,
end.
fist bump between protagonists.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, it's hard to say what Class 7's next move's going to be. But we'll do whatever we can to be a guiding light for them too.
Well, it was almost there. They just need to bring their fists a little closer to each other. Oh my goodness, we're finally on the opening. Yeah, the SSS. The Ball Crew. Old and new Class 7. Oh wait, was that one without her glasses? Yeah, that was Cold Steel protagonist himself, all bound up in chains. I'd have to say that was the best Cold Steel opening by far. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was a pretty good opening, actually. Yeah. Although that's taking into account like all the nostalgia and all that. But yeah, that was definitely significantly better than Cold Steel 3's. Like Cold Steel 3's is probably the weakest on out of the three. The 3? The 4. Yeah, if I had to rank all the prologues for the Cold Steel games, it'd definitely be Cold Steel 4, Cold Steel 1, Cold Steel 2, then Cold Steel 3. Anyways. Wait, I did save, didn't I? Okay, no I didn't. Save. Look at me! Almost forgetting to save. That would have been a pain. Oh well. We saved. Now we can proceed.
Hey, Yuna.
Yuna, wake up.
Huh?
Okay, what sort of trippy dream is Yuna
Sleeping in class? Were you up late last night or something?
Yes, she was reading cookbooks and looking up recipes well past midnight.
Oh. Kurt and Allie?
Yeah, considering all the black mist on the borders, yeah, I'm just gonna assume this is a dream.
Wait. What's with your uniforms?
You still dreaming or what?
I bet she was having a lovely dream about whoever it is she's planning to cook for.
Muse and Ash, too? Hold on. How are you here, Ash? Didn't you...
Goodness, would you all please simmer down?
Class is about to start. We need to snap out of it and focus.
Huh? Ada and Fritz? You guys are supposed to be at the main campus. What's going on? Why are you two here?
You really are out of it, aren't you? Did you hit your head or something?
What? Crown Prince Cedric? What are you doing here?
Are you serious? Maybe you did hit your head after all. I'm here waiting for class to start. We're classmates now, remember?
Did you seriously forget? The main and branch campuses being merged? All our classes being rearranged?
His Highness, Ada and Fritz were added to Class 7.
I mean, then again, this could be... I mean, they did... Actually, I mean, the only big question mark here is Ash, but that's about it.
But that was 2 weeks ago.
They've only been here 2 weeks, but these scrubs are already acting like they own the place.
Watch your mouth. I won't allow you to disrespect His Highness like that. Well, anyway, the fact that we were all at about the same point in the curriculum made things easy.
True. The transfer was fairly smooth, all things considered.
Huh. Oh, I guess that rings a bell, now that you mention it. Man, I must have just had some crazy dream or something.
I'm so tired.
Good morning, everyone.
Huh? Who are they?
Okay, Class 7. Looks like you're all here, so we're going to start with today's announcements.
Sorry, everyone. We still don't have a homeroom teacher for you yet. But the two of us are going to support you as much as we can, so please, give it your all.
Thank you, Instructor Mary.
You as well, Instructor Makarov.
Honestly, out of, like, somebody... I think Mary's probably the weirdest voice. Yeah, I've gotten used to Ren's one and Kia's one real quick, but Mary's one is just a bit weak, I guess?
Anyway, today's class schedule. First off, we've got applied info processing.
That's right. We don't have a homeroom teacher, huh? Shoot. I need to focus on the lesson. Those days I spent at Thor's were so warm and fulfilling. I was surrounded by my friends and classmates. They were all so brilliant and talented, I could barely keep up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a dream.
But together, we all supported each other and pushed each other to grow. And not just when it came to academics. We gave our clubs and our personal lives everything we had too.
Well, that's
But for
not the
some
club.
reason, I couldn't shake the feeling something was missing.
Oh, the tea ceremony club was the last place I would have
A
expected
voice
Cedric
that
in.
guided us. One that was calm, but carrying way too many burdens.
Ah, you mean Range Forza?
It was a little pushy from time to time, but you could feel the kindness behind it. The voice of someone who had gone through a lot, despite not being much older than us. But whose voice could it have been? I couldn't remember.
Like, dang, the Black Miasma is really messing with everyone's memories, huh? And really amplifying the more negative emotions in them. Okay, I like the fact that Yoon is taking charge of things right now. Like, how would they have started with Green otherwise?
Let's look for Kurt first. Maybe he's in his room.
We should check to be sure. It's at the far end of the hall.
So I assume we're gonna be going around with new Class 7 without Reen for a bit.
that sounds like.
Aha! He's in the training room.
And where are the other students, actually?
Ha! Yeah! Strike!
Looking good, Kurt.
Your swordsmanship is as fluid as ever.
Oh, we've got an extra event around. Okay, are they? Is it all upstairs?
No one's here?
I guess everyone else has already hit the hay.
Most likely, yes.
No, it's way too suspicious. Alright, what about Ash and Fritz? Oh, I guess Ash is sharing some of his magazines, probably. Alright, Cedric, how about you? Alright, what about Muse and Ada? Alright, to the instructor's floor.
This is the 3rd floor.
Okay, let's have a look around.
All these nameplates are blank.
Well, except this one. Oh wait, actually. It's been scribbled out. What aren't the others? No, those are blank, but the green one's scribbled. Alright, before we open the door, I just need to sort out some things real quick. Oh, oops. Oh, okay. There we go. All sorted. Well, and... okay, nope, model's all good. Alright, let's head in.
A scroll with Eastern writing.
Reen's Tachi, the pictures. Ah, that's nice.
Instructor Reen!
Oh, there we go. It was just a dream.
Was all of that a dream?
Those strange school days we spent with everyone? It seems so.
Where the heck are they now, actually?
Wait, you had a dream about that too?
Yes, I get the feeling we were all in the same dream together. Altina included.
I remember now. I was brought to that dark place. I tried to protect everyone, but then Milliam, she... No.
Allie, I remember now too. Valimar went berserk. No matter how much we tried to call out to Instructor Reen, we couldn't stop him.
Now, Reen, let us begin. Together we shall write the end of this wretched fairy tale. In ink, black as despair.
Despair?
Chancellor Osborne's words to Instructor Reen are the last thing I remember. But what happened afterward? How did we get here?
That is a good question.
You're all finally awake!
Man, it's about time. You had me worried.
Oh, Emma and Randy. Oh, I love Emma without her glasses.
Emma! And Randy!
I am here as well.
Oh, and Rose
Wait,
too.
Rosalia?
But why? And where are we?
Confused, huh? Can't blame you.
Don't worry, you're safe here. This is my grandmother's atelier.
Oh. So we're in the Hexen clan's place.
It's where I grew up.
This is your family home?
Did they wake up? Sounds like it.
Oh, and oh yeah, of course they'd all be around. They'd all be together.
You're all here.
What a relief. I'm glad you're all okay.
You really had us worried there.
Actually, how did they all escape?
It's nice to finally have a bit of a silver lining after everything that happened.
I'd ask if you're all okay, but...
No one could blame you after all that's happened.
I imagine you must be feeling weak and disoriented. You were unconscious for 2 whole weeks, after all.
2 weeks?
Anyway, first thing you need to do now is eat.
Even soup is fine, just get something in you.
Trust me, I'm just as lost as you are, but we can talk later.
That's right. Let me go make something for you.
Nuh-uh. We're talking now. You need to tell us what the hell happened. And what in the world's an atelier? There's no way we're still in Heimdall, right?
That's quite a nice place.
My, for someone who spent the last 2 weeks dozing, you certainly are pushy. As the elder, I suppose I should explain. We are currently deep in the heart of a pitch-black forest. Welcome to the home of the Hexen clan, the hidden village of Erin.
Tuesday, 1st to the 8th. Alright, so Muse's disappeared then, I guess. Despite the fact that she was down there with all of them. Oh hey, a continuation.
What's going on?
Ah, so the Grawl has come unbound.
This whole place is returning to its proper dimension and taking us with it. It's going to cause a distortion. Emma! I'm on it.
Is this?
You're teleporting us outside?
Yes, this will take you straight to Grandmother. Don't worry, I'll make sure we all get out safely.
Okay, we'll leave it to you.
Just be careful.
Okay, so Emma teleports
Emma?
everyone out.
Stay close. I'm teleporting you out of here.
Understood. But Instructor Reen...
Fine, I'll get him! Celine, no! What the?
And they're all making their escape.
No!
Okay, so everyone just
Instructor!
ups and leaves.
We need to get out of here now! Stay close by and keep a firm hold on Altina.
Muse?
What the heck is that? Grianos? No! Is this Vita's magic?
Correct. A transportation talisman imbued with the power of her deceased familiar. She gave it to me in case of emergency. How unfortunate I have to use it so soon.
Just who are you?
Yuna, Kurt, and Altina too. I'm afraid it's time for me to say goodbye.
Muse!
You can't be...
The Great Twilight has begun, and I too have a role to play. But I will always treasure the memory of these few months we spent together. So please, take care, and just leave Ash to me.
Muse! Come back!
She's gone, Yuna.
This place won't last much longer. We need to get out of here!
Well, rip the branch campus soldarts, though. Oh yeah, Muse's just been a massive bunch of question marks throughout the entirety of CS3. And she knows way too much, to be fair. Oh, Randy, just... Oh,
There you
okay.
are.
They all tell.
Now we can open the spirit path.
Hey, is everyone okay?
Then what about the rest of the branch campus students?
Huh?
Randy! We don't have enough time.
I'll use a partition to get the others out. Take care!
Okay, Randy just happened to be in their vicinity when they needed to teleport. Okay, that makes sense. Rain being. That's why he'd be bound in those chains. Oh, how convenient! Very convenient hot spring events, huh? Man, it's just straight up stuff from out of Tolkien. This village in general. And we got, there's the bonus items. Alright then, let's just slap it on Yuna. Wait, what happened to their stats?
Set! Gunner! Set! Striker!
Oh, they've still got the same, pretty much the same gear? Yeah. Well, the strongest they could get before the Zemurian ones anyway. Alright, orbits will have to be dealt with later then. I've got a good chunk of people to... Just one more, I think? Just one more person than before? Well, no Millium either. Right, so we're just gonna chat with everyone. Alright, we'll start with Laura then. Said the explosion had completely incinerated their bodies. Yeah, there's at the very least, I don't believe Oliver would be dead, considering how much he's been through with all the Trails games thus far. That was extremely unceremonious.
What a lovely flower bed.
With all these flowers blooming, you'd think it was spring. Wait. And these blue lavenders, they're...
Errand flowers. Like the ones the Archbishop requested during our field exercises.
Yeah, there's plenty over here.
Guess this must be the local tavern, huh?
Seems so. No village is complete without one, I suppose.
Well, we don't have the cookbook yet, so we can't get any new recipes at all. Do we have... Okay, we do have some mirror. Macchiato. I mean, that's the perfect nickname for him, actually. I'm gonna assume the village gets attacked or something. Okay, I'm finally starting to see lag on my end. So I'm gonna have to sort out the settings a bit when the next time I play. Oh, right. Eustace would be hit real hard by Milliam's death for sure. Mildine Juzelith de Cayenne. Oh, that's a pretty bold move, actually. I wonder if they're going to explain her foresight at some point. And we got a character note from Muse. Where the heck did Eustace go? He might have an additional one if we talk to him. He's probably in the inn, actually. Doesn't seem... Oh, wait, no, he is up here. Alright, anything in here? Okay, if we need healing items, that's where we're going. And they actually have an orbital factory here, wow. I highly doubt the Bracer Guild's gonna sit still regarding all this. And well, to be fair, we've already seen Estelle and Joshua in action. Same with Ellie and Lloyd. Alright, no shopping for us just yet. And in the center we have...
Is this some kind of monument?
An unusual one, if so.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna have some purpose later on. Wait, is there someone down? Yeah, there's someone down there. And the teleportation stone.
It's a dead end.
What do you think this monument is?
I'm not sure. It resembles an animist totem, though.
Doesn't react when touched, and I think that's the first time they've used purple text. I'm gonna assume we'll be revisiting some animist places again. Alright, Emma and Rose, what do you have for us? Alright, and I assume these are the hot springs.
What's this?
There's steam billowing out from over there.
Okay, not yet. No scenes just yet. Miss Poofy Pink Hair, Miss Silky Silver Hair, and Beautiful Blue Hair.
Whoa! This place is packed with all sorts of stuff.
Something about it seems rather peculiar.
Not so peculiar when you consider it's set up in a witch's village.
I mean, it looks like your typical D&D shop. Well, shop in the D&D world anyway. Oh, right. Books. Yes. I don't think we need to upgrade gear just yet. Though, early evasion is quite nice, to be honest. Whoa, we have 0 battle scopes as well. I'm not 100% sure, to be fair. I need to check if there's any limited items in the herbalist shop too. Alright, after we talk to Elisa, we'll read the Imperial Chronicle. Oh, how convenient, we just bought one. Well, it all helps keep the Hexen clan informed on outside of their sphere, that's for sure. I mean, to be fair, like, the earliest indication we would have gotten was at Stargazer's Tower in Cold Steel 3, when it just seeing Elisa's reaction was enough to figure it out. Alright, the Imperial Chronicle Issue 1, Politics. National Mobilization Law unanimously approved. Wow, unanimously? How convenient. On July 31, the National Mobilization Law was unanimously approved in an emergency session of the Imperial Diet. This special wartime measure, currently a hot topic among political science scholars, gives the government the power to requisition any resources, personnel included, deemed necessary for the war effort. All citizens are required to comply with this law in order to boost the Empire's military power in preparation for a potential full-scale conflict with the Republic of Calvard. Further addendums to this law are likely to be implemented in the following weeks and months. These include, but are not limited to, the following measures: compulsory compliance with military conscription for all able-bodied men aged 19 to 45, the requisitioning of everyday goods by the army, and government regulation of commodity prices. And then, obituary, Prince Olivert's funeral held. A state funeral for Prince Olivert was held just days ago at Heimdall Cathedral by head Archbishop Sigmar. 4 other archbishops, each hailing from one of the 4 provinces, assisted with the service. Mourners also offered prayers for Viscount Arcade and the young crew members who lost their lives in the incident alongside the prince. Authorities currently suspect the Republic of Calvard of engineering the explosion of the prince's high-speed cruiser, the Courageous. As the bodies of the victims were burned in the explosion, they were impossible to recover. In their stead, empty coffins were used to honor them at the ceremony. Access to Carroll Imperial Villa at the site of the incident is currently forbidden by the military. And then a special report, update on Emperor Eugent's condition. Emperor Eugent, victim of the tragic shooting, remains in a coma. His prognosis is currently unclear. Readers may rest assured that world-class surgeons from St. Ursula Hospital in Crossbell are preparing for his surgery using a cutting-edge medical tech. Churches throughout the country are offering concerned citizens a space to pray for the Emperor's speedy recovery. We were able to obtain a short comment on the situation from Prince Cedric. Since the incident, my mother and sister have been reluctant to leave the castle, and lack even the requisite energy to rouse themselves most days. I'd like to ask our dear countrymen and women to offer prayers not just for my father, but also for my mother and sister, who find themselves waylaid by this most tragic event. Right, and Emperor's assailants still at large. The investigation into the background of the military academy student who attempted to assassinate the Emperor is still ongoing. Punishment for this heinous criminal has yet to be announced. And from the editor. 2 weeks have passed since trouble began in Heimdall. The ominous ringing of bells and terrified screams became part of the daily soundscape of the city, as it suffered attacks from both monsters and mechanical giants. The unrest is speculated to be subterfuge of Calvardian design. Thankfully, the 4th Armored Division and the Railway Military Police have managed to bring the situation more or less under control. I wouldn't be able to sit here at the Imperial Chronicle office writing this column without the efforts of those brave peacekeepers. Editor-in-Chief. I mean, thinking about all of this, it makes Dieter's plan in Crossbell child's play. Although, in my opinion, what Dieter did is better executed, but this one is far, basically, the Crossbell attack, but on a larger scale. And by the Crossbell attack, I mean Azure's Chapter 4, if I remember correctly.
The sky above Erin seems so strange.
Yeah. It's like we're in a completely different world.
The Hexen clan village is quite a mysterious place.
Alright, I want to check the herbalist again, just in case. Hello, madam. Do you have any limited items? No, you don't. I mean, I could buy Valscopes at least. And I definitely don't want to trade you material for either of those 2 items. And I think I'll hold off a bit on the Sepith Mass. Maybe get just 100. And just so I could buy myself, like, 10 Battlescopes. Alright, that's good enough. And Elisa went back into the tavern. So, well, let's just go talk to her, just in case she's got an additional... character note for us. Alright, she's taking it better than expected. Oh yeah, Lisa and Laura and Eustace would definitely be the hardest hit ones. I mean, you could pretty much tell from the length of the conversations they had, basically. Like, Elliot and Gaius had the shortest ones. Although, then again, like, Gaius, I thought he'd have more to comment on the situation, just considering he's part of the Gralsritter. Yeah, this series has had an over-reliance on Reen, to be fair. Well, hopefully everyone grows up from the fact that Reed's missing.
Back already, I see.
Rose. Randy.
Man, look at you. Still down in the dumps, huh? Oh, I guess old Class 7's in the same boat.
Well, can you blame them? From what Emma's told me, the combined power of the gnomes and the Blood and Iron Chancellor is completely overwhelming. So much so, that they could bring about the end of the world with ease.
And then you add Ouroboros into the mix as well?
That's terrifying to think.
To top things off, we've got 5 more Divine Knights besides Valimar running around now. And one of them, that Ebon Knight, Chancellor Osborn is piloting himself.
That knight had an aura unlike any of the others, as if it wanted to dominate all it surveyed.
Yeah. Honestly, it gave me goosebumps just looking at it. I mean, the other Divine Knights had powerful auras too. But that one...
Well, if the Blood and Iron Chancellor's behind the wheel, it's gotta be bad news.
Right. There was something else that bothered me.
Now, Reen, let us begin. Together we shall write the end of this wretched fairy tale. In ink, black as despair.
Right at the end, the Chancellor called Instructor Reen by his first name. Almost like he knew him well.
Oh right, these 3 don't know yet. Well, Altina would, wouldn't she?
But when they met in Heimdall, they were much more formal with each other. Last names and all that.
Now that you mention it...
Huh. That is kind of weird. Hmm?
Allie?
Is there something you're not telling us?
Well...
Allie, please.
You're with the Intelligence Division, right, Altini? You know way more than us about all this.
Certain things have been nagging at me for a while now. Not just the exchange between the Chancellor and Instructor Reen, but old Class 7's behavior as well. And then there's the fact that Instructor Reen is not a Schwarzer by birth.
Oh, I think it's the pieces are starting to click with Kurt.
Huh? Oh, right. I guess I knew he and Elise weren't actually blood related.
Interesting.
Hey, whoa! What are you getting at here?
As a Vander, I'm privy to certain information that I believe may shine a light on our current situation. Please, hear me out. 14 years ago, just before the start of the 100 Days War, someone attacked the home of the then Brigadier General Osborn. To this day, nobody knows who was responsible nor what motivated them, but they murdered Osborn's family in their own home. He lost his wife, and, it's said, he lost a son, but the son's remains were never found.
Whoa, so that's how it all connects. But hold on, Kurt. How did you put this all together?
It's a technique Instructor Reen taught me called the Unclouded Eye. Letting go of your preconceived notions will let you see the truth. I trust I'm not mistaken?
You're right. I received confirmation myself 2 years ago, during the incident at the Infernal Castle. Though it was only by coincidence, I was there on a mission to capture Duke Cayenne. Instructor Reen and Old Class 7 were shocked to discover the truth.
I can imagine.
Yeah, no kidding. That'd mess anyone up. But that would explain why Reen and his pals were so dead set on foiling Osborn's schemes.
Yuna?
Are you angry? Yuna, Instructor Reen's birth father, doesn't change who he...
Of course I'm angry! How could I not be?
mean, you could say the same of many of the cast members. Like, why the heck are they keeping information? Well, the obvious reason would be the storytelling, but yeah.
And not just him either. The rest of old Class 7 is just as bad. Come on, you two. We're bringing them back here. Now! No. We're gonna have a few words with them!
Yuna.
What exactly do you want to say?
That's our uni, I suppose.
It seems that for better or worse, nothing keeps her down for long.
Right, in the face of her fierce energy, they were powerless to resist.
Good. That's everyone.
Yuna?
What is it you wanted to talk to us about?
I kind of get the feeling you're upset with us.
Oh, I'm not upset. I'm completely pissed off.
Yuna, please.
I don't know what you're planning, but try to keep a level.
Kurt, Allie, I need both of you to shut it. We just learned the truth about Instructor Reen's father. His birth father, I mean. The Blood and Iron Chancellor, Gileath Osborne.
Oh, well...
So... you found out, huh?
Please, Yuna, don't think any less of Reen.
He suffered so much because of Osborne. But he never agreed with the Chancellor's policies, with his unreasonable demands.
It's true. For all the pain my brother has caused me, it pales in comparison to what Reen has suffered at the hands of his father.
Each mission Reen fulfilled for his father ate away at him piece by piece, but he always retained his sense of what was right.
His actions in the Northern War are the perfect example.
I get it. I haven't known him for as long as you have. But I know what kind of person he is. And I think there's something that we in the new Class 7 understand even better than you do. That Instructor Reen is still suffering. Even now.
You're right.
We've seen it with our own eyes. We saw the way he fought. The way he gave his all to try and stop the Chancellor. But even then, it wasn't enough. So he chose to put his life on the line to keep us safe.
I mean, to be fair, you all did try to stop him when he had the opportunity.
It's true.
Allie tried to protect him from certain death. But in the end, it was Milliam who paid the price. She became the sword to save all of our lives. The shock and grief sent Instructor Reen into a rage. In trying to avenge Milliam, he ended up triggering the end of the world. And now, his father, Osborne, is trying to use him for something else even beyond all that. I know that right now, Instructor Reen must be blaming himself for everything. For not being able to protect Milliam. For making a mistake that can't be undone. That's why someone needs to find him, grab him by the collar, and shake him until he snaps out of it. To tell him that he's wrong. That it wasn't his fault. Wasn't that supposed to be your job? You're his friends, aren't you?
Uni.
Wow, Yuna
If you
really
won't do it, then we
stands
will,
charge,
as his students.
With the emotional stuff in the 3 and 4, like dang.
Instructor Reen has always offered us support when we needed it most. It now falls to us to do the same for him. And I swear I will. Not as a Vander, but as a member of Thor's Branch Campus's Class 7.
Instructor Reen has been my mentor, showing me the way. He taught me to think for myself, gave me the courage to make my own decisions, helped me figure out who I really am.
That's why my decision was an easy one. I'll protect everyone, just like Milliam did. And I will do everything in my power to rescue Instructor Reen, so that I can thank him in person.
Sheesh, they got us good there.
Yep, I agree. They didn't just catch up to us, they blew right past.
You can say that again. We came to much earlier than they did, but all we did was mope around.
We let our sadness and our fear of what we have to do next paralyze us.
How could we? It's so embarrassing. So much for setting an example.
So that means...
Yes, you're all absolutely correct.
Yeah, now's the time to take action.
Protecting everyone, huh? That certainly sounds like Milliam.
She's passed the baton to us. Now we must work together to protect what we hold dear. Reen has always devoted himself to helping others. We owe it to him to follow his example.
Do you remember what we told Reen and Milliam that day? That we'd work to stop the war on the surface and find out what's happening behind the scenes. It's time for us to do just that.
And don't forget about Crow. Seems like he's got his memories back.
Yeah, we'll get him back on our side even if we gotta beat some sense into him first. I like the way you think.
Alright, so is everyone gonna go together immediately, or... Actually, no, I think everyone's gonna split up, aren't
It's
they?
not going to be easy, though. Especially with that mobilization law in full effect.
True, but we can start by investigating that black pleroma grass that sprang up after the ritual.
Oh, there's black pleroma grass this time, huh?
Looks like all you guys needed was a little kick in the butt and you're back on track.
I'm glad to hear it. That puts my mind at ease.
Yeah. But this is only the beginning. Aside from rescuing Instructor Reen, we've still got to find Muse and Ash. And everyone else from the branch campus, too.
You're absolutely right.
We're going to take everything back. Our instructor, our entire world.
You won't be doing it alone. We'll be there to help you every step of the way.
You have our gratitude for bringing us back to our senses.
Yeah, thanks.
The trial that awaits us will be the ultimate test of Class 7's worth.
And that means all of us. There's no difference anymore between old and new Class 7.
That's right. Our shared goals have united us. And together, we can overcome any challenge.
Right.
And somewhere in Erebonian airspace. That looks like the Isengard range. Could also be above Nord as well, I'm not sure. Oh, it's the Weisland army on the Pantagruel. Probably under the effects of stealth at the moment.
"1420 hours. We've cleared the 3rd Air Fleet search radius."
Good. Return to alert level 2. Now, full rudder starboard. We're headed north-northwest.
Yes, sir.
My, they're all so well trained. Every soldier knows his proper place. I can't help but wonder how the Civil War would have turned out if this army of yours had been around back then.
I can't imagine it would have changed things in the end. At most, we might have prolonged the war for a year or so. Though if we'd had a more suitable leader, things might have turned out differently.
I do believe you're right.
Oh, please. You're giving me too much credit.
And there's Mildine.
It's only thanks to your generous assistance that I even stand aboard this airship.
So you claim. But you're the one who arranged all of this.
That's right. The way you see tens of thousands of moves ahead, you could even teach the Blood and Iron Chancellor a thing or two.
I mean, G also saw many steps ahead too, but of course he was powerless to do anything.
I imagine you'd make a fine Anguis for the Society if you were so inclined.
Well, I certainly would enjoy meeting the infamous Grandmaster in person. However, in the end, I too failed to stop the Great Twilight. Failing to notice that Ash had taken that gun is one of my greatest regrets.
Well, I mean, there were so many capable people there that would have noticed, but I'm surprised none of them noticed at all.
That one mistake was all it took. If only I had seen it, I might have been able to stop him.
Perhaps it was simply the will of Adios. Or far more likely, the curse.
Yes. It's something powerful enough to completely defy the laws of causality. How impressive that you were able to use that very power to devise a counterattack.
Perhaps. But it's an unforgivably cruel plan. No different from taking the entire world hostage. How could I face Instructor Reen or the rest of Class 7 ever again?
Putting Schwarzer aside for now, what's become of the members of both Class 7s?
Well, they're motivated to go out there again, that's for sure.
They ended up escaping to your village, did they not? I haven't heard anything more than that.
Nor have I. At least it seems they made it there safely. Minus Crow and Ash, of course. Though it's hard to say if they'll be able to bounce back after witnessing the worst possible ending firsthand.
They're going to be fine. I'm sure of it. I believe in Yuna, Kurt, and Altina. They'll inspire the others and shake them out of their despair. Then together, they'll start moving forward. The time I spent with them in class made that more than clear.
And now for somewhere completely different. Are we... No, this looks more like a fortress. And Ash is escaping?
Damn it. I never asked for this.
Oh, I know, this is still the Pantagruel.
You think I need to be hidden away somewhere? I got myself into this shit. I'll get myself out.
Well, at least the Hector's still here.
No freaking way.
Alright, Valmar's still in that berserk state. Alright, now what's Crow gonna do now that he's regained his memories?
Ah, there you are. Been looking for you.
Oh, it's just you guys.
Duvalie and McBurn.
What do you mean, just you guys?
You got your memories back then? Huh. So, what's your plan now that shit's about to go down?
Oh, I just questioned myself
About
that
that.
not too long ago.
My contract's up. I'm nobody's pawn anymore. Right now, I'm just the Azure Awakener, and that means I've got my own role to play. At least, for what little time we've got before it's all
And
over.
to everyone who's popped up,
Oh, yeah?
welcome to the stream. And please, enjoy your stay.
It's fine, though.
As I go through
Works
the,
out well enough for me. Gives me one final shot at
first
getting
chapter.
revenge for my grandfather.
Wait, am I still
But
in
if
the
you're looking
prologue?
for a fight, you better keep walking.
Yeah, I think I'm still in the
That's a
prologue.
damn shame. Well, if the mood strikes you, You know who to call.
Oh wait, no, this is the first chapter, isn't it? Yeah.
He never fails to get on my nerves. But you! Why are you so...
Completely irresistible? Don't tell me you fell for me. Nah, guess not. Your heart already belongs to that master of yours, huh? Unless a certain goody two-shoes went and stole it away.
Absolutely not! I swear, why is it that you, McBurn, and that ogre girl all treat me like I'm some love-struck little child?
Well, you kinda are.
Anyway... What exactly do you plan to do about him?
It's his own problem to deal with. The way he is right now, I don't have it in me to bother with him.
Oof, cold. Cold, Crow. Cold. Oh, and Celine's there with him too.
Rean, you need to get a hold of yourself. Fine then.
Dear,
Nice
getting
work.
Exhausted.
We're lucky you're here.
You.
Man, even after all this time, George doesn't really strike
You finally
me as
got
that
him
great
under
of a villain
control.
or
I'd
antagonist.
suggest
even.
keeping him like that. Don't worry, though. It won't be much longer. The rivalries will begin soon.
Oh, just shut up! We're not going to be part of your evil scheme! You need to beat this. Come on! Think of all the people who are counting on you, waiting for you to snap out of this. Do you hear me? Rean Schwarzer?
Oh, hello. I assume this is the opening. Oh, that looks like we're gonna have to be fighting Rean at some point. Or at least a few times even. Ooh.
Come
しくて苦しくて悲しくて Shout free 寂しくて恋しくて叫び出す Baby 燃えてる呼んでいるあの声が取り戻せそんな手にお前の名前を
Oh, that shot's neat, actually. Oh, and that Valimar looks sick. No, that was an alright opening. I think I prefer the previous one. Oh, that was just... Right, we finally hit the end of the prologue. Well, let's see. Yeah, I think I'll stop there for the day. That was quite a lot to go through. We started off action-packed with a lot of nostalgia, the SSS, and the Bright family. And then it's just a lot of talking with the new Class 7. So considering their level, I'm just going to assume the end game is going to get pretty close to level 100. Although at the same time, I'm wondering what happened to most of Class 7's levels. Because the end game for Cold Steel 3 was around 55 to 60, wasn't it? Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop here for the day. That is a good place to stop. So yeah, thank you everyone who's watching right now and who will watch in the future, and I shall see you next week for Chapter 1. Take care of yourselves, and I'll probably reduce the graphics settings a bit on my end, because there was all that frame stuttering on the stream, and yeah. Oh yeah, especially in the village. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's all. See ya.